Good morning, everybody. Patty Ann here. Hey, today I'm going to do just a little fun, what I think is a fun learning activity, and it's something that we can keep and we can share with each other and keep it in our little binders if you're making one, just to keep track of your notes on how to use Cricut Design Space. And of course, now we're adding in Silhouette Studio for those of you who want to use that software with your Cricut machine. So as I say, it's a fun learning activity to keep, whether you use Cricut strictly or Silhouette strictly, or you use both of them. What I'm asking you to do is, if you make something, to take a snapshot of it, and I'll show you in a moment how to do that in a Windows machine. And I'm sure you can do it in a Mac. I used to have a Mac, but I've forgotten how you do the screen captures there. So I'm sure you know though. But anyway, what I'd like you to do is, I'll have a post there, and I'd like you to share your images there so we can copy them and print them and cut them and save them in our notebooks too. And I'll show you why I think that'll be fun for us to do in just a minute. So let me get rid of these things that I have up here. The text, delete, delete, and delete. Okay, so what I was thinking was that we would do something that's what's it called, subway art, but I have a good spin on it, and that's why I think it'll be useful for us to keep in our notebooks. So let me just show you how you will start doing it, whether you're in Cricut Design Space. I'll show that first, and then I'll show the free version of Silhouette, and then just add in a little bit extra from the business edition. So in Cricut Design Space, all I want you to do is to come to Shapes and get a square and make that square 8 inches square. So I'm going to come up here where I can change the size, and I'm going to change 1, and since the lock is locked, it'll change it proportionately. And now I want to make that white. Okay, so now I'm just going to hide that off to the side for a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to come to the text tool, and in here I'm going to just type in the word text, anything you want, text. And I'm going to leave it like that, whoops, and just move the word text over here, and then I'm just going to duplicate it about 15 times. So let's pretend that's 15, so you don't have to watch all of this. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to click on one of these, and I'm going to come up here to where my fonts are, and I'm going to choose any one of these fonts, say this one, and I'm going to change it into that font, and I can resize it or whatever, but I can do that later also. So what I'm going to do now is, notice it says the name of the font up here. It's whatever that word is. So I'm going to change my text to be that word. So I double clicked on my text, and I'm changing it. I'm just copying the spelling from looking up there. Okay, so now I have this text, and I have it in that font. Okay, and I can just move that out of the way for now. So I'll choose another word text, and I'll come up here and choose any other text I want to that I have here. Let's do anything that you have. Okay, that's one you have to purchase, so I'm not going to do that one. Just do the free ones, or ones that are in your system. This one is bicycle for 2. So I can make it bigger. So I'm going to change it, and I'm going to make it say BICYCLE for 2. And then I'm going to move it over here out of the way also. And I can tell I'm going to need to change the size of that for it to fit on my picture. But I'll work on that later again. So then I'll choose another word text, come up here, change it to something else, just anything that's free. This is Bank Gothic. So I'm going to make it say, double click in it. The text box comes back up and I'm going to make it say Bank Gothic. Okay. So you get the idea so far about this. I kind of bring that over here. All right, let's pretend I've done all of these. So I'm going to move them and delete them. And I'll come back to my little square I originally made. And now I'm just going to start putting these on here willy-nilly, no rhyme or reason. And just kind of resize them so they'll fit however I need to. And maybe I want to unlock the lock and I can stretch it taller like that if I want to. So I'm just going to start putting these on here, and I can change each one's color too. Maybe I want this one to be red. Okay, then I'm going to get this one that I couldn't pronounce. And I'm going to shove it down lower and put it, oopsie, here. And maybe I'll change its color to blue. So I have two things so far. I thought I did the bicycle for 2. Bring that over, put it somewhere. And maybe I'll leave its color as it is. And I can just put it anywhere. Just rearrange these however you'd like to. And let's just imagine that I have this whole sheet filled up, right? And I can add some extra words in there or some extra little images if I want to, but just have them be like line art so it doesn't take a lot of ink to print. And so now what I would do, if I was all done with that, well, I'll just get rid of this one for now. And this is the one I was done with temporarily. Obviously, I started out with just a subject, and I thought that would be fun for us to do, but I think it'll be really fun if we go ahead and use the words that are the names of the text, and then we can compile a little thing in our folder. Whereas if we want to use a certain text, we'll have that ready for us, and we can just kind of leaf through a couple of pages that we've taped together and see what we like. But what you will do in the Windows machine is you'll come to the snipping tool. And if you're not know where to find it in your Windows machine, just go down to the bottom and type in snipping tool, and you should be able to click on it. And then it looks like this with a little pair of scissors. You just click on it, and then you just go like this. And it comes up like this, and then you just go to File, Save As. And it will automatically save it as a PNG file. Save it somewhere where you know where it is, and then just upload it onto the Facebook group page of Cutting Up with Patty Ann. And the reason why I'm doing it there is I'm trying to keep it separate, so when we use Silhouette or Cricut or Silhouette and Cricut together, it's on one group, but the other group is strictly for Cricut things. So that's how you would do it in Cricut Design Space. And then in Silhouette, I don't want to save this. In Silhouette, I've already done one that I started, but at first I had it like this. Summertime, all these summer-ish words. And then I got the idea of, what if I want to know what these different texts are, and I've just printed it out. Okay, I can change the word summertime to Oswald because that's the name of the font I used. For blue skies here, I changed it to Pixie Ring. So if I like that font, I can just look through this little sheet of fonts that I've done, and oh, I like, Rebetha Sands, or, well, some of these I didn't quite finish, but Kristen, or Allegria or something, or Ariel, Papyrus, So for this one, again, you do the same thing. The first thing that you would do, and right now I have mine in just the plain basic free version, so if anybody else wants to download the version just to try it, come over here to a square and draw a square on your mat, and then you get the arrow key and click on it. And now up here, the lock is always unlocked in this one unless you lock it. So I said to make it 8. So I'm going to click it in 8 and hit enter. And I'm going to make it by 8. And I am going to change its color to white. Okay. So now again, the same thing I would do, just come over here to the text tool and I'll just type in the word text again. Okay, right now you'll notice that the word text has a blue outline around it. That's a line that we can put around our text if we want to in this version. I can come over here to this little tool on the right hand side and make the outline even larger if I want to. But I do not want any outline on mine, so I've changed it. Let me make this smaller again. Okay, so right now notice it says there's 0 line text. This is the fill and this is the outline. My outline size is 0, so there is no outline. And of course I can also make it so that it doesn't show up at all like that. So now what I'm going to do to duplicate this one, I can right click on it and duplicate, but the easiest way is to just click on it, regular, hold down your Alt key and drag. Keep dragging. Hold down your Alt key and keep dragging it, and you drag a new one each time. Okay, let's pretend I have a whole slew of them here now. And now what I'm going to do is click on the first text so that I have boxes all the way around it. And then I'll come over here on the right hand side. This is the text style panel. I'm going to click on that and all of these things come up that I can change. But what I'm going to change now is just this the font that we're using. So the first one I'm going to pick is Pixie Ring, and it changes it automatically to Pixie Ring, but I want it to say Pixie Ring, remember, so I know that's what that font is. And I'm going to get rid of this blue thing and just put this over here for now. And of course, just like in the other version in Cricut Design Space, we can change the color of each of these. So I'm going to come up here to this red swatch and I'll change it to that color. Wait a minute, I got to highlight it first and then I will change it to that color. There we go. Now do the second word text. I'm going to come over here and change it to something else. How about 2 cent, whatever that, TWCEN. So I have to highlight it and then click on that 2 cent. Where'd that go? There it is. There's several different versions of it. I'll just click on one. And I'm going to again double click on it to get the text editing feature up. And I'm going to highlight it and change it to TWCEN. And I think I'll change its color to green. Now I have to highlight it to change its color to green. Okay, let's go to this text and change it to something else. How about, let's see. Stencil. I'm not crazy about stencil, but we'll highlight it and we'll change it to stencil. So I'm going to click up here and I can actually type it in and there it is and hit enter and it changes it to stencil. So I'll just move it over here. This one, click on it to highlight it, come up here and I'm not sure what that says. Parchment it's called. I'm going to make it larger so I can see it. And I've got to make it say parchment. Wow, that's a fancy first letter. Wow. And I'll bring it over. And I'll click highlight it and change its color to a blue. I'll do one more. Let's see, I'll just go like this and whatever I come up to, Niagara, whatever that is. So see, I don't know what all of these fonts are either. So this is going to be a really good thing for me as well as you guys. So now I'm going to change its color to Brown. Ick. All right, there we go. So let me get rid of these two. And again, we would do the same thing. I would need to get a square, which I already had done, but I got rid of it accidentally. And I would make this square, come up here to the arrow key, the select key, and click on it. Then I'll make this square and now change the height to 8 and hit enter. And again, I would change its color to white. And then I would just start moving these things over onto here. Okay, look, that's going behind. So just like in Cricut Design Space, we can right click on it and say, bring to front. And now it will be on top. Okay, there's one. And this will probably go behind as well. So what I should do instead is just right click on the paper and then say send to back. And now this should be on the front, correct. And I can spin these however I'd like. When I click on it, I get the option to rotate this. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to say what this was, so I need to change this font. I'm going to change this to say Niagara. Niagara. Okay, now I'm going to need to resize that down some so it'll fit. Okay, so this one then I know. Pixing ring can come over here somehow. This word text, which was the stencil, can come over here, and I think I'll rotate it. So anyway, I'll just fit as many of these in here as I can, maybe up to like 10 or 15 of them, as I said. And then once I have this all filled in the way I like it, I would go to the snipping tool and say new, and then I would just snip around this. Comes in like that, and I would just say, and I try to get not to get this little line up here because that's just something extra that will print. But then I'll just go to File, Save As, and save it as something. And then, I'm not going to save this one. What I would do, again, is to upload it to the web group, the Facebook group, Cutting Up with Patty Ann. And I'll have a link to that down below this video so you can join us and upload your images so we all can print off each other's and make like a little book. And when you want to know what a text looks like, instead of having to scroll through in Cricut Design Space or anywhere else, you can look on really quickly and you can see, oh, I really like this font, or I really like this one. And then you'll know exactly what its name is. So I hope you like this video. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe and also comment. I really like comments. They keep me going. And questions. Please give me a lot of questions too. Again, subscribe if you haven't. Share this with other people, even people that just use Silhouette. Even though we mainly use Cricuts, this also works for Silhouette. So I'm trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. So if you could share this, I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, you guys. Oh, and don't forget to check out the other links below. We have a Patreon page. A new challenge is coming up this Friday. So it'll be a secret challenge and a secret video for you. So, again, see y'all again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you. I just got a fresh cup of coffee, y'all. Thank you, my dear. All right.